Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Maya with Simply Bloom. Today we are working on rock gardens. So I planted up rock gardens about 3 years ago and I get tons of questions about it still, people asking for updates. And even though I've shown it so many times in my videos and my garden tours and stuff, I thought we would do a designated garden or rock garden update and some maintenance because I had some things die over the winter. So this is the first rock garden and my kids are all outside playing, so I'm sure you can hear them in the background. But currently it's all in shade right now. It does get early morning sun and late afternoon, evening sun. But then there's a good chunk during the midday it is in shade. So a quick update on plants. I have a silver mound, a lamium. There is a sedum there, which I might transplant. I do really like it there, but it would probably appreciate full sun. There's a rock and round sedum from Proven Winners. I'm trying to remember the exact variety. Rock and round, what is it? I can't remember. Here's a sedum here. I do have the tag for this one. This is the Summer Glory stone crop, and it gets really pretty pink flowers. There's a creeping Jenny and a lamium. So I planted a lamium here. It came over here, kind of rooted in, and there as well. There's a creeping phlox kind of cascading over the rock. That's really, really pretty. That's the same Proven Winners sedum as this one right here. It's also over there. And I knocked off a piece and I tried to stick it in the soil to root. Didn't work. I don't think. Oh wait, is that a root? It's not focusing. It does look like there's a little root. Maybe I'll shove it back in just to see what happens. So when I planted this, I put potting soil in between the nooks and crannies of the rocks. And just with rain and just watering, a lot of that soil has kind of eroded. You can kind of see it could use a top off on soil. So I'm actually going to take compost, shove it in the cracks. We're going to plant a couple other things. I had a sedum here that I planted when I did this rock garden. Never even survived the summer. It died like a month later. So I have a hole there. Maybe I'll put another creeping Jenny there because there's lots of silver, lots of blue. We do have the yellow there, but it could use a little bit of yellow there. And then I have a second rock garden. Here is my second rock garden. This one has been through the ringer. So we had a couple plants die over the winter. I had a silver mound right there. Look at those impressive weeds. Silver mound died. I had a lamium there that died. And then last summer we had an invasion of chipmunks and they love to hide in this rock pile. Well, my dogs would hunt them. He never caught any chipmunks, but he dug this thing up and just ripped it to shreds. Hasn't ever recovered. I had a blue spruce sedum right there. He kicked it out of the rock bed. Some of it actually rooted right there. There's another little cranny with some blue spruce sedum there. This was just I remember getting it from Walmart of all places. It was just, what was it? I can't remember what it's called. A sedum blend or a sedum mix. There were several different types of sedums. Really, I only see one left. There's a little bit right there. But yeah, this one could use some desperate help. And then I can't remember if I talked about the creeping Jenny right there. But anyway, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna fill it up with some compost and plant some more things. I have another silver mound to replace it. Let me show you the plants that I have to replace it. Actually, I started a lot of them by seed. They look a little rough. We'll see if they pull through. This is what I have to replace it. Silver mound, and this one looks rough too. This is like the best looking one at the store when I bought it. So I'm kind of hoping if I plant it and maybe prune it back a little bit, it will push some new growth. So that's just from like overhead watering, I think. Anyways, we have some Oracle sedum that I planted from seed. It was looking beautiful and then my son found it and ripped out every single sedum. And I found it, I don't know how many hours later, just all ripped out, roots exposed. So I shoved them back in. I think they'll pull through, hopefully, but that's why they look rough. And then I have some other things I started from seed. The rock cress, Cascade Blue, gets really pretty blue flowers. This is not rock cress. This is an obedient plant, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4 decent looking rock cress. There's one there that's trying. I don't know. So we'll maybe try with those. The rest, I do have some really pretty Kirigami oregano. That might look pretty. I was planning on putting it somewhere else, but maybe I'll pop one in just to see what happens. And then this again looks horrible as well, but this is lemon coral sedum. It's supposed to look better than that. It needs to be planted out desperately bad, but I thought that'd be a really pretty pop of yellow as well. So we are just going to get started, compost, planting, and then I might throw some mulch on top as well. Really, typically, I mean, the plant's filled in pretty good before my dog ripped it apart, where you couldn't even see the soil, but just to help lock in that moisture, I might add some mulch. Okay, you guys, done with the rock gardens. There's not a whole lot to see with the things that I planted because they were just little itty bitty seedlings, but I'm hoping they will fill in fairly quickly. And then I decided not to put mulch down yet, but I might, even just to help with the soil erosion, because when I went back to water things gently in, I did notice some erosion kind of coming off. Okay, so this is the rock garden. I planted a lemon coral sedum right there. There's the blue rock cress there. So eventually this, I'm hoping, will get big enough where it will cascade down the rocks. So that's why I just put an annual sedum there. I didn't want anything that would stay. And then there's a little blue sedum there. I can't remember. I just showed you what it was, but now I can't remember. Oracle sedum there. There's another blue rock cress, and then the Kirigami oregano there. The silver mound is back in its original spot, and it looks so much better. The rocks are kind of holding it together, but I still might cut it back, just see if we can get some fresh growth. Another rock cress. Man, I didn't realize how much rock cress I planted here. Rock cress, the Kirigami oregano, and then another lemon coral sedum. And I'm really missing the lamium here. There is some lamium down here, but it just didn't do real well. It's not making a strong comeback. This one is definitely looking much better. I planted a creeping Jenny there. A rock cress, we'll see if this one survives. It's pretty tiny. And then a lemon coral sedum. I'm not loving the bright color right next to the creeping Jenny. I wish I had a slightly different color there, but I did want an annual something just in case that rock cress survives. But that is it. I actually want to add a third rock garden somewhere else on my property. That's how much I love them. And I'm just excited and hoping that the plants that I planted fill in quickly. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.